14-year-old girl caught in the crossfire of a gang shootout in Nampa last year had a message for her shooter at his Tuesday sentencing. "I hope you rot in jail," the preteen wrote in a letter read aloud in court by her mother. The girl, Chloe, was struck by a bullet June 29, 2016 when two members of rival gangs opened fire at each other in the parking lot of a Walmart in Nampa, where hundreds of families had gathered to watch the fireworks show from the God and Country Festival across the street. KTVB is not releasing the victim's last name at her family's request. 22-year-old Desiree Garcia, a member of the Shootout gang, was not aiming at Chloe when he pulled the trigger. But the child's mother, Dara, said it didn't matter. "Why would you have a shootout in a parking lot full of families?" she asked Garcia. "You're lucky this isn't a murder trial." Prosecutor Ellie Somoza said the shooting that changed Chloe's life was set in motion a week earlier, when Garcia and 20-year-old Nortno gang member Mario Garza quarreled on Facebook. Mario Garza said, "The next time you see me, you better pull a gun," Somoza recounted. And that's exactly what happened. As captured on surveillance cameras, Garcia was walking through the Walmart parking lot when Garza and his 16-year-old passenger pulled alongside him in a black sedan. The teen asked Garcia what gang he was representing. Somoza argued that Garcia knew that giving the answer, "South Side," would result in violence, but chose to represent his affiliation anyway. The defendant and the 16-year-old scuffled, then separated, before Garza pulled around and backed down one of the parking lot aisles. This time, Garza got out and pistol-whipped Garcia in the head with a handgun, Somoza said. Garcia pulled his own gun from his waistband. Both men opened fire. "There are dozens of families all around," Somoza said. "That little girl was twirling in the grass with her little sisters, waiting for the fireworks to start." The gunfight unleashed pandemonium in the lot as people ran, dove to the asphalt, or took shelter behind cars. Across the lot, in a grassy strip near the Chevron station, Chloe dropped to the ground. The bullet struck the 10-year-old in the shoulder. She was rushed to a local hospital by ambulance, where doctors determined that surgery to remove the bullet was too risky. It had lodged near her joint in a bundle of nerves, and cutting it out could result in paralysis. So the bullet remains in Chloe's shoulder. It probably always will. Chloe said the injury prevents her from lifting her arm over her head, and hurts when she goes outside, especially when it is cold. "You made me feel useless and weak," she wrote in her letter to Garcia. "Now, my life is bad because of you," the letter continues. "I used to move my arm any way I want, but now I can't." Dara asked the judge to hand down a long sentence, saying she hoped Garcia could get treatment and shake free of his gang ties while in prison. "Right now I cannot say I forgive you, but I hope at some point my daughter can," she told the shooter. Somoza asked the judge to sentence Garcia to 19 years in prison, with at least 7 years before he would be eligible for parole, the maximum possible under a plea agreement reached in November. "Prison time will send a strong message that indiscriminate gang violence will not be tolerated," she said. Defense attorney Ryan Dow asked for a lesser sentence, 10 years, with 5 before parole eligibility. He said Garcia was filled with remorse for injuring Chloe. "At the end of the day, Desiree is here to atone," he said. In a statement to the judge, Garcia said he was sorry for what had happened. "I was just attending a family event like everybody else there," he said. "Nobody should have gotten hurt." But Judge George Southworth wasn't convinced, ultimately handing down the 19-year sentence recommended by the prosecution, along with a $5,000 civil penalty to be paid directly to Chloe's family. The judge charged that Garcia had put his pride and gang affiliation above the safety of everyone else in the crowded lot. Essentially, her life was changed due to the color of clothing you wanted to wear, Southworth told Garcia. "The crime here was so dangerous, and so horrendous, and created such a danger to our community, that there needs to be a substantial punishment." Garza's sentencing is set for next week.